Howdy, y'all. Happy Monday. I'm back, and we're going to be talking about purpose. But first, holy shit. Alright, I need a hat, because my hair looks like the tree that the partridge laid in. Good lord. Alright, so we're going to get going on purpose. The way I want to do this is I'm going to kind of talk about my experience with purpose, because I thought I had found it for so many years. Doing accounting. So I want to talk about the reason that I thought I had found my purpose, sort of like, and it was a complete lie. Like, really what it was a dopamine spike, which I'm going to get into. But the true purpose and what I want to get across is it's kind of like a quest. It's a quest that's made for you. However, you are perfectly made for it. And when you receive this quest, you're the only one that fucking sees it. You're the only one, right? Sometimes you'll run into people and you'll be like, oh yeah, I got all these plans for the future, right? If you're living in that divine quest, that purpose, and you'll see it, you'll understand it. But other people are going to say, oh, you're crazy. Oh, you can't do that. That's what we talked about yesterday. These are the naysayers. Fuck them. Get rid of these. Fuck these people. Get them out of your life, right? If you can see it, you can achieve it. So I'm going to get into why I got lost in the sauce for so many years. It's actually a pretty decent story. I broke the law a couple times, so hopefully you guys enjoy me sending you the truth, and hopefully IRS does not come for my ass. Although they already did once, so fuck them. If they do it again, bring it on, boys. I beat you once. So, when I was a young kid, I was always gifted in the maths and the sciences. My struggles have always kind of been with like English and writing, which is ironic now because that's all I want to do is read books and make videos online. So nothing math or science related at all. But yeah, like I was always interested in that, and the main reason for that is my mom, she had her own company and she did sort of like manufacturing consulting work, and so as a young kid I wanted to always take over the company, right? That was the dream. I saw it as a young boy. I was like, oh, that's safe, that's easy, right? I could just take it over. And then I had no idea at the time about like passion and dream, and I thought, you know, life was meaningless and we're just kind of born into this flesh husk, this garment that we wear for our entire life, and then nothing else happens. You just die and turn into dust eventually. Yeah, back in those days. So finally it turned to, you know, I was 18. I had finally taken the ACTs, got ready for college and all that, and I asked my mom, I was like, what degree do I need to get in order to take over your company? And she told me bluntly, she was like, you're not smart enough. And this is after I got a 34 on the ACT, and I was like top 3 in my fucking class, right? So I was devastated, and I felt like I wasn't good enough. So I was like, I need to prove myself somehow, and it's not going to be in anything tech related, right? Because that's hers. It's not going to be anything manufacturing. I got to figure out what I'm good at. So I knew science and I knew math. So immediately I went bio pre-med to school. Great decision, because I learned very early on I was not meant for bio pre-med, but also a terrible decision because I still, to this day, cannot forget the smell of the organs that... So, I was just going to tell it. I lost my lunch in a cadaver lab freshman year. Our school was very close to a hospital, and they had the downstairs, like the lab area, where they had some of the cadavers, like the dead bodies, the people that had passed away, that they were giving their organs away for scientific purposes. So we went there, and... the mortician just was up there taking this man's like intestines out and just like playing with them and shit. And I lost my lunch. The smell was horrendous. It just smelled like death and formaldehyde and like this sort of ammonia-y. Oh, no. Not for me. So I immediately was like, I can't be here. So I had to go start talking to some of the chairs of the other departments and figure out, okay, where do I sit? And I talked to almost all of them, and I was like, none of this checks out. I don't like any of these people. They don't really jive with me. And then I talked to the head of the accounting chair. Old Irish lady. And she was on the case that busted Enron for burning the most unholy of books back in the day. She was a badass, and she was hilarious. So I started with accounting. Took accounting for years. Did my first internship doing taxes, which was great. I actually made way more money in an internship than I made for probably like the first 4 years of actually working outside of college. And the main reason for that is an internship is kind of like it's like the little drip they give you to make you forget your dreams. And it tastes good. It tasted really good. It was $25 an hour, and you get paid overtime, right? Do you know what overtime looks like when you hit a tax season where 100 hours is the required amount of work? I mean, because you're interning. You're fighting for a spot to get a job, so you don't have a choice. If they say the minimum is like 80 hours, right, and there's 5 other interns, you need to be there the longest to get the job. So that's what I did. I basically sold my soul for a while, and I made time and a half on like the extra 60 something hours I was working. I was raking it in. And so I thought that was my purpose. I was like, oh, this is really great. Like, I'm making all this money. This feels good. I get to help people. And, you know, you kind of get to evade some taxes on things once you get to know what you're doing. And I'll get into sort of how I thought this was my path post-college. But then it started to get really messy and bumpy. And the second the IRS starts questioning you and you have partners saying like, hey, like, you're getting looked at, it gets a little sus. You can't keep doing certain things. However, you know, is it entirely your fault? I mean, why do they have such a complicated tax code system if they don't want you to use it? And it is kind of fucked up because the more you do it, the more you realize that the rules are really only made for the rich. And the hyper wealthy are the ones that abuse the entire tax system. And so you're kind of like stealing money back from the government to give it to the rich people. Which I don't believe in taxation in the first place. I genuinely think it's theft. But it was kind of messed up that I couldn't help everyone the same way that I could help certain clients. And usually it was because they would have a business. And if you know anything about taxes, the second you have a business, you can deduct everything. I can come up with a story for every single receipt that you have. It's very easy to make sure that you do not pay a cent in tax. And so, did that for years. And then I finally left. The straw that broke the camel's back was we had a giant client that they hadn't done their books for years. I mean, this story, it's going to sound like cap. And please, in the comments, tell me how bullshit this sounds. But I shit you not, the wealthiest person I've personally ever met, but also the biggest idiot I've probably also ever met, was the same person. And it was the son of some Russian oligarch billionaire trucker, right? The son got caught smuggling guns over in Lithuania, so he says. His dad gave him a small loan of $1 billion to come over to the United States and build a trucking fleet. He built a trucking fleet. He had somewhere around, I think it was like 700 to 1,000 trucks in his fleet. He had a monstrous company, monstrous amounts of revenue, no books. No books. He wasn't tracking anything. So when he came into our office, because he needed to do his taxes, because he was saying, well, I keep paying so much in taxes. And I asked, I was like, can I see your QuickBooks file? He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, whoa, brother, what do you mean? You have to have depreciation and amortization schedules for all of this. You're not claiming all the different credit cards that your drivers have? What about all the gas? What about all the food? What about the hotels? What about the tolls? What about the permitting? What about all of these things? Even the repairs and the maintenance on the trucks. You have double declining depreciation that you could take on the trucks. You could take instant same year depreciation on the trucks to reduce your taxable income. There's all these things he could have been doing, and he didn't do them. So I had to go back, and you can amend for 7 years. with the tax code, 7 years of tax returns. So I had to go back and do 7 years, build this guy's books, and basically hunt down every single credit card expenditure for 7 years to see how much money I could essentially save him over the last 7 years, and then he would get a refund. Well, he got a fucking refund, guys. $67 million. Now, I'm not gonna say any names because I don't want anybody looking into this. But let's just say this took me over a month of working those hours that I was talking about before. Crazy amounts of hours, right? And I knew how much money he was getting back. I knew how much money our partners were going to charge him. I mean, he was paying for the work I was doing. And you know what I got as a reward? At the very end of the tax season, a check for $5,000. $5,000. I didn't get a raise. I didn't get a promotion. I was able to, in 1 month, work on a client and save them $67 million. Our partners probably made between $1 to $2 million off of them, and all they gave me was $5, when not a single one of them raised a finger to do the work. And that's when I realized, I was like, this whole thing is bullshit, man. It's, you know, I wasn't actually passionate about any of that crap. It was just the dopamine hits, because it felt good to do something to help somebody. That's it. It felt good. All right? So I left taxes and I thought, all right, let's try something else number-based. Maybe I'll go to construction. And this is where it finally ended for me. I was there for a couple years. Again, no companies. But let's just say that if you set a budget for a house, and if you're a little bit off the budget, the guy that's building a house can lose his bonus on the house, right? He gets graded for how good he does building the house. And I thought to myself, well, you know, at the end of the day, we're just building houses to put Americans in them, right? That's a good purpose. But all the guys that are out in the field, they can't always predict some of these weather conditions and other things, or people not showing up, or repairs that need to be had because some trade did something stupid. And, you know, sometimes you don't catch the trades doing damage, so you can't back charge them. A back charge is when they would go to the trade and say, hey, you guys just fucked up my wall. I got to get this thing repatched, taped, and painted. That's going to cost me some money, and I got to go to a couple different trades to do it, all right? I need you guys to pay me, right? If you couldn't do that, that guy's in variance now. The PJM, the project manager. So on the accounting side, I was one of the cost managers for the state. They allow us to kind of move things around. We can revise. We can fix things. And so I didn't see what I was doing as burning the books, moving money around from project to project. However, it absolutely was. But for all the time I was there, no project manager lost his bonus. And that made me happy. Did it make me happy doing the day-to-day work? No. What made me happy was helping people. And I think this is the part where I'm going to segue into like talking about actual purpose and less about myself. But just so you understand where I came from, it didn't matter what job I worked in. Not a fucking bit. It doesn't matter, guys. What matters is purpose and helping people. Right? At the end of the day, money is just money. It's energy. You just spend it on whatever you need to furnish your life. It's not the end of the world. Materialism is not everything in this world, so money is not everything. The number one thing is just pure happiness and bliss. And where do you get that? It's from helping other people. Some people, you know, if they're truly at a low state where money is all that makes them happy, sure, you do whatever you want. But I'm saying for you, most people out there, it's going to be in something that you are specialized at, that you are keenly interested in, where you get to share it with other people, expand their horizons, help them out. And that makes you feel good. That is purpose. That's why I switched to doing this from working in the accounting. I couldn't do it anymore. Not to mention, I mean, I kept, you know, burning the books everywhere I was, so I'm kind of a liability to the regular rule following people. However, I never believed in rules. I believe rules are meant to be bent. I was like, why would you build a wall if you didn't want me to hit it with a battering ram? Like, just don't build the fucking wall. Right? I want to know, like, the Great Wall of China. Were you really just keeping Attila the Hun out? Genghis Khan? I don't think it was Attila the Hun. I think it was Genghis Khan and Kublai Khan. Getting my history mixed up and going on a rant. But yeah, it's always been that for me. It's why are these walls here? Why can't I go to the other side? Why can't I do this? And people constantly telling you what to do and why you can't do other things. Stop listening to them. Listen to yourself. Listen to your true self. That inner self, the higher self, the one that you can't ignore. I know what's going on right now, guys. This energy is insane. You can't hide from it anymore. You have to fucking do it. You have to come out of hiding. It doesn't matter if other people judge you. Right? Those people won't always be around. They will not always be here. But there will always be people that will support you because you're authentically chasing your genuine purpose in life. And we can see that. People can tell the energy. You can sense energy on people. Right? The amount of times I've seen it. And it's not the same for everybody. Like, some people, they want to be on YouTube or social media, but maybe their purpose is something completely different. And you'll be able to tell from their videos because they kind of seem, I don't want to say meek, like in a weak way, but they're just kind of like, they're scared, right? They're trapped up. They're not ready to let their light out. And so maybe they need to go do something else in life first to really wake them up and rip them out of that box. They need to have some more life experience before they can share. I don't know. I don't have the answers. All I know is that the universe happens for you, not to you, right? All the shit that happens in your life happens for you. It's so you can grow, so you can discern from it. How can I learn the lessons? Right? I used to think that so many bad things happened to me just because I was a bad person. It's not because I was a bad person. Maybe I had bad thoughts, so maybe I attracted bad things into my life, but as you know, he's always got your back, right? The universe has always got your back. So what are those bad things doing? If they don't kill you, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Kelly Clarkson, I think. Or it's Natasha Bedingfield. I don't know. Also, don't judge my music taste. It's pristine and amazing. And I listen to Unwritten every single day when I shower. No judgment. It is what it is. Where was I? So yeah, purpose. And, like finding it. What is it? What's the point of it? Obviously, I don't have the answers on how you can find your purpose, but I will say, if you look at some of the other content you can find on YouTube, whether it be journaling or meditation or just spending more time with yourself and with your thoughts, I'm sure you'll be able to find it. No one can truly tell you what it is. That's the worst part about it. That's the absolute worst part about it. As much as I wish I could tell you there's a foolproof way to be like, hey, if you close your eyes and you think about this, it's just going to magically pop into your head. It's going to show you your entire perfect future, that entire reality that is made for you. It's made for you. It's there. Everyone's got it. It's there. Trust me. I wish there was a way that I could say matter-of-factly, this is your purpose to every single person. But I don't think that is a possibility. However, what I am waking up to is that as we improve our conscious levels as humans, we start to unlock some of our superpowers. And that is going to kind of give us that clairvoyant energy to see the future. And then once you can kind of see the future, you can see your own future, right? And you start to see things for what they truly are, not as what people say they are. You start to see how this society we live in kind of is just a matrix. And it's just all for control. I mean, if you really want to just, well, don't feel sad watching it, but go watch The Truman Show. It's kind of true. It's kind of true. It's just all a distraction. Everything is a distraction from what's truly important. And what's truly important is only available on the inside. You have all the answers. It's just we are locked into this 3D concrete jungle matrix where they want you to be focused on the Kim Kardashians or the Tom Brady roast. They want you to be focused on the sports and the wars and the drama, right? Think about the news. It's always negative. It's going to take you out of your light. You gotta tap into the good stuff, guys. You have to go to a quiet place and find your bliss and happiness. Away from all this other shit. You're not going to find it on the news. You're not going to find it watching sports. You have to find it by yourself. And it's in there. And once you find the purpose, I guarantee you this one thing. And let this stay with you. Whatever that purpose is, and whatever you see, is a guarantee. If you walk in that light, if you chase that path, there will be a path for you. It will be laid for you to walk. Things will just start to magically happen. It will almost work out too well. And even the things you see may not come to be as you see them. They might even be better. And they will be better because that's the ultimate promise. So, I don't want to get too esoteric on you. I'm not going to go into the whole, light matrix and the only thing that really matters is our soul and, the soul's purpose and all that. We can go into that on another time. But really just for purpose sake, I just really want to see everyone be happy. I want to see everyone just chase what makes them happiest in life. Because let me tell you, man, like going through life every day and seeing people that you can tell are just like sad, they're depressed, they're down on themselves because they're doing something for money or status or whatever the reason may be, and they're not truly happy doing it, that sucks. I mean, does anyone really want to live in that world? Does anyone want to not have everything that they could possibly have in this lifetime? You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait to die for eternal salvation. We'll get into that, but I think that's just code for blood sacrifice, because the last time I checked, no God requires death for salvation. That's literally sacrifice. But not for this video. I've already gone way too off track. But yeah, that's the message for today. Purpose, try and find it. Please go outside. Just think. Ask yourself some of these questions. What would make me the happiest in life? When am I the happiest in life? And then start recoding it into your brain. Tell yourself that you're happy when you do these things. All right? You can do whatever the fuck you want in life. No one ultimately cares. Everyone's focused on their own life. So why do you care if anyone has anything bad to say about whatever your passion is? Chase it. Just chase it. If you want to post videos, just film yourself and fucking post them. Just do it. That's all you can do. And believe me, once you start, all the bad shit will go bye-bye. All those people they'll slink away. Maybe for a while, they'll stay around and say, oh, you'll never make it. Fuck you. I'm going to. Alright? All of you can do it. Please try and find what it is that makes you tick. I want to see it. Because people that are following their divine light, it's beautiful. They create things that you couldn't create. because everyone's got something in them that no one else has. Isn't that the greatest fucking thing in history? That everyone has something unique? And yet we all just want to sit in this rat race? For what? So we can buy a Bugatti? Holy fuck, we are lost. Guys, love one another. Support your friends that are starting a business. Support your friends that are supporting a business or building a business, right? Share the good energy. Stay away from judgment. Chase your own thing and find your tribe. Find the people that will always support you, that will always be there. This is all you. You got it, and I'm here for you. I'm going to be doing rituals and prayers and blessings for everybody. I hope you all succeed. That's all I want in this life. I want to see people happy because I'm sick of seeing the fucking bullshit. All right, that's the Monday morning one. I'll see you guys tomorrow.